Toyota, sporting a 6-game winning streak, going for 7 in a row tonight against Portland. And 10 years ago tomorrow, the Rockets completed the sweetest trade in franchise history. We look back on the Clyde deal and much more on Rockets pregame.
Rockets home from a very successful road trip. You're looking at the Toyota Center site of tonight's Rockets-Blazers game, just a little over 20 minutes away from tip-off, and we're getting you ready for it right here on Rockets pregame.
And again, we're sorry we had to break away from ACC basketball. We'll update you on North Carolina State and Georgia Tech as we go on in this show. Well, welcome to Rockets pregame. It's a pregame show for the hottest team in the NBA, your Houston Rockets. Rick Renner, Emily Jones, as H-Town looks to extend their longest win streak in 5 years to 7 in a row.
Well, the Rockets' recent surge has left them just 3.5 games back of Dallas for that second spot in the Southwest, and with just 2 games to go until the All-Star break, Houston is looking to hit that break on a high note. And speaking of high notes, our high note Jeff Hagedorn joins us live now with a little marching band action going on in the background.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It's a little bit of a collegiate atmosphere here tonight at Toyota Center, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and take it because odds are, whatever you're going to ask me right now, I won't be able to hear it. So let me just talk about the Rockets a little bit. As you said, the hottest team in the NBA right now. They've won 6 in a row. And I'll tell you something, that is their best winning streak in 5 years. One more win here tonight, and it'll be their best run since they won 9 straight back in March of '99. That, of course, was the strike-shortened season. Charles Barkley was a part of that team as well. And it's interesting to note, they've been getting it done the old-fashioned way of late. They've gone back to basics, defense and rebounding. They held Chicago to 37% shooting a couple of games ago here, and then out-rebounded Indiana 47-29 on Friday night at Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Speaking of rebounding, Juwan Howard is averaging a double-double over his last 5 games. He will join us shortly, as will Cynthia Cooper. She'll break down tonight's matchups between the Rockets and the Trailblazers. And it was 10 years ago that the Rockets received the best Valentine's Day gift ever from Portland. That is the subject of our feature story here tonight. Guys, just a little hint. It was not roses from the Rose City. It was something a little more pertinent for a team looking to win their 2nd consecutive NBA title.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff Hagedorn. We'll check in with you a little bit later on in the show.
The band stopped playing at just the right time as soon as you finished.
Right on cue, of course. You knew it was going to happen that way, Emily, right?
Thanks so much, Jeff. We do appreciate it. Well, we're counting you down to the Blazers and Rockets here on FSN. Much more still to come.
We'll hear from the man brave enough to call the action right after this short timeout. Houston Rockets open up a 3-game homestand. Should be a great night of basketball here on the net. Portland is a mess, riding the 2nd longest losing streak on the road at 6 games, while the Rockets are trying to extend the NBA's longest winning streak at 7 in a row.
Let's head back out to the Toyota Center now and join the guys calling the game, Bill Worrell and Van Chancellor. Guys, I got to ask you one thing. The Rockets score 11 points in the 4th quarter Friday night, but still managed to win the game. You know things are going your way when that happens.
Well, you're right, Emily, and Rick, it's Coach, you said it the other night, when you're able to score only 11 points and win the game, you've got to have some grit.
Yeah, Jeff called it in the paper the day before the game. He said, we've got to win some basketball games on defense. We can't continue that offense is going to continue to win games on the road especially. And what an outstanding job when you think about 13 points in the 4th quarter in Indy the other night.
That's what the Rockets have been doing now. If you notice, only San Antonio has been holding its opponent to under 20 points in a quarter more times than Houston.
Yes, and this is because of the emphasis that Coach Van Gundy puts on defense and how they play it and how much they work on it. And then when you can play defense on the 4th quarter, what does that tell you? You got a shot to win every game.
Coach, coming into this game against Portland, this will be the 2nd meeting between the two. The Rockets defeated Portland in Portland on November the 21st, but the players were a lot different. As you look at the starting, Sharif Abdur-Rahim is on the injured list now. Zach Randolph is now coming off the bench. Ratliff is now playing forward. Anderson is coming off the bench. Stoudamire is still playing well as a starter. Look at Jim Jackson. He's not here. Mo Taylor's not here. This is who will be starting tonight.
Yes, and that's 4 players that started before Thanksgiving that are now starting. This is different teams. Take the scout reports you had, coaches, throw them out the door because you got a new cast of players. Big cast of players for us, I think, is Bobby Sir.
I'd be I don't want to be a coach. I'm very happy with what I do, but if Zach Randolph were on my team, I'd be starting him. But right now, he's coming off the bench. He's still averaging 19 points and almost 10 rebounds a game.
Yeah, I want Randolph to start the basketball game. I'm not one of those guys that says he ought to come off the bench and then he plays against some second unit. How you start a game, to me, especially on the road, it's so big as you see him do it all. He can play from outside. He can play from inside. He has great quickness. But the thing I like about Randolph, he's very, very strong, and he matches up against a lot of different players.
Coach, I do not have a good feeling about tonight. To me, the team feels, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as pumped up. The atmosphere is not that way. And Portland plays the good teams very, very well.
You better worry about Van Exel coming in here tonight. He owns a home in Houston. You ought to be worried about this basketball game. But I'll say this, the Rockets have found a way to win in the last 5 minutes. I think they will tonight. I think they're going to get to 100. It's going to be free Big Macs everywhere.
Emily, Rick, that means they'll be lucky to get to 80.
I appreciate that. Hey, Van, you got to tuck in the pocket square. It looks like a present coming out of that. So tuck that in a little bit right there.
Oh, he's talking about you dressing.
Oh, well,
this is Rick.
Hey, Rick, after I saw you the other night in Dallas, buddy, I'd be very, very careful what I said about other people, big boy. You're just lucky to keep your job each night.
I appreciate that. Just giving you some fashion sense. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, guys.
When we come back, we'll visit with one of the Rockets' all-time greats. Clyde the Glide talks about his Hall of Fame career. That in 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Not much time to go. 14 minutes, 40 seconds until the Rockets and Blazers tip this one off. Houston going for its 7th straight win.
10 years ago tomorrow, the Houston Rockets completed the sweetest trade in franchise history. The Valentine's Day deal that brought Houston native Clyde the Glide Drexler back to H-Town, which captured hearts everywhere.
Recently, Clyde the Glide was at the Toyota Center for a book signing and sat down with our Cynthia Cooper to talk about his career and his recent induction into the Hall of Fame.
And the ball in the front court to Porter, drive the base, comes underneath, reverse layup. Oh, he made it, it's good! A sensational play. Drexler, here is Clyde the Glide.
Ladies and gentlemen, Clyde Drexler. Welcome to the Hall of Fame by Julius Erving.
Your presenter for the ceremony was Dr. J. What was that like?
Julius was one of my favorite role models as a kid. Later on, I got to know him pretty well. We became really good friends, and he's like a big brother today. To have him present me was the ultimate honor. I like to pay tribute to my presenter, Julius Erving, the doctor. My favorite childhood role model presents me into the Hall of Fame. I am dreaming. I don't want to be awakened. Anyone who's ever put on a jersey in any sport, the ultimate compliment to your game is to be even thought about to have a chance to go into the Hall of Fame. And when it was announced that I was going to make it first ballot, well, that was a pretty high honor, in my opinion. I'd like to give tribute to my classmates, 2004 Hall of Famers. It's an awesome class, and I am honored to be a part of it. Family was proud. It was a crowning moment for them to have been a part of professional sports for over 20 years.
I think Clyde has been one of those persons that has always had a vision about how he wanted to lead his life as a basketball player. A person with a great deal of integrity and character and a great love for the game of basketball, and I think this is a terrific way to sum it all up.
I think having great coaches who believe in your abilities is truly a spectacular thing. In everyone's career, there's going to be a defining moment, and you have to make that moment count. When you hit the floor, you got to give it everything you've got. I was fortunate enough to be in that position and was able to stay on the floor. But you got to give a coach a reason to keep you on the floor.
He's the only guy that ever started for me the first day of practice his freshman year. And we knew what he could do as well as the press, so we had him in there, and he never left the starting lineup.
10 years ago, you were traded to Houston.
After 11 and a half seasons of playing with the Portland Trailblazers, I was traded February 14th, 1995, which is Valentine's Day, coincidentally. So it was a love fest right off the bat. I grew up in Houston, played at the University of Houston in college with Phi Slamma Jamma. And to come back 11 and a half seasons later and to win a championship the very first year, well, that's something right out of a movie.
The thing I always mention about Clyde is that if there was a loose ball, Clyde had hustle and determination and fierceness to get that every single time. Whenever a loose ball was around, Clyde knew he had it every time.
A lot of my success was based upon the fact that every night I wanted to be the best team player. I wasn't the kind of player who wanted to shoot 20, 25 shots a night. If I had to do that, then I would. But the key is to play as a team and to try to win games.
What is in your future? You getting back to coaching, or?
I don't know. Those things are all possible. Everyone knows a coach, general manager. Anything is possible. Not probable, perhaps. But I'm enjoying my kids, enjoying my wife, and having a great time, just enjoying life.
And welcome back to Rockets pregame as we count you down to tip off with the Portland Trailblazers from Toyota. Two role players who have really stepped up during this 6-game win streak, Bob Sura and Juwan Howard. In the last 5 games, Howard has averaged 12 points and 10 rebounds.
Not to mention 3 assists. Not bad for a guy who was rarely heard from early in the season. Jeff Hagedorn standing by with Juwan for a little pregame chat.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Juwan, let's talk about your performance of late. 3 double-doubles in your last 5 games, and you really seem to be cleaning up on the offensive glass.
Well, I'm just trying to give our team second shot opportunities because I know Coach has been talking to us more importantly about offensive rebounding. I think we're not at the top of the league as far as offensive rebounding as a team, and so my role is to go out there and rebound and defend, and I'm just trying to do anything possible to just try to help this team get more opportunities on the offensive end, and that's, of course, offensive rebounding and also defensive rebounding.
Well, defensively, this team has really gotten back to its roots over the past couple of games. You've done a nice job. In fact, you, on an individual basis, did a great job against Jermaine O'Neal the other night.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Jermaine is a great player. He's an all-star, and I knew going into the game that Indiana was going to try to feed him the basketball as many times as possible down the floor. And not only that, every time down the floor he's going to touch the ball. So I just try to find ways to deny his catches, get him off his sweet spots on the offensive end. I know on the block he really likes that turnaround jumper, so I try to make it that hard for him as far as contesting every shot possible. But I had a lot of help on the defensive end. Dikembe, Yao, of course, gave me a lot of help as well.
This team has won 6 in a row now, longest winning streak for the franchise in 5 years, and it looks like each and every guy on this team is having fun out there right now.
Yeah, when you win, you have fun. Winning cures a lot. And, yes, we've been playing good basketball lately, and we're trying to finish this all-star break strong. And we know tonight Portland's going to be a tough team to match up against. They start 2 guards who's, of late, the last 16 games have been playing well for that team. So defensively, we all going to have to get after it. And, of course, rebounding is going to be a key because they start 2 7-footers who's going to be attacking the glass and trying to clean up a lot of things. And so we're just going to be ready from the start of the game and get out and jump out on them early.
Let's talk specifically about a couple of the guys that you're going to be facing tonight in Ratliff and Randolph.
Right. Well, Ratliff, we know he's a very good shot blocker and also a very good rebounder. So I'm going to try to block him out and keep him off the boards. There are going to be times when I'm at the face guard and someone else will have to grab the rebound just to make sure that he's off the glass. Same goes for Prisbilla. He's the same type of player like Ratliff. Very good shot blocker, very good rebounder. And then also you got to look at it coming off the bench. Randolph. Randolph is a very good offensive player. He's strong. He can shoot that jumper from 19 feet. Also, he's good on the blocks. So that's another guy who we want to key on. He's a guy who's going to bring in some energy off the bench for the team and also some scoring. So we're going to try to contain him as much as possible.
All right, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, guys, there you have it. Juwan Howard with us. Rockets and the Blazers coming up shortly here from Toyota Center. Back to you.
Coming up next, we're live live and on location at Toyota Center as the Rockets take on the Blazers on FSN Southwest. H-Town gunning for 7 in a row. The next Rockets game on FSN is Tuesday, February 15th. The Rockets at home against Antoine Jameson's Washington Wizards. They say nobody could beat the Wiz, but Bob Sura says that's not the case when you're taking on the Rockets, the hottest team in the NBA. Look out for Nick the Quick Van Exel tonight. It's the Rockets and Wiz right here on FSN. We'll see you at halftime and after the game. Enjoy it, everyone.
A win in Indiana makes it 6 in a row for the Rockets. Houston had a balanced attack Friday with all 5 starters scoring in double figures while holding Indiana to only 13 fourth-quarter points. Tonight, the Rockets look to blaze a trail in the new millennium. Blast off on their first 7-game win streak since 1999. Houston and Portland next on FSN. From the Toyota Center in downtown Houston, Fox Sports Net presents Houston Rockets basketball. And tonight, the Rockets taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us as the Houston Rockets play at home tonight against the Portland Trail Blazers. The Rockets have won 6 games in a row. They are really on a roll now, playing as good a basketball as the Rockets team has played in a long time. They met Portland earlier in the season back on November the 21st up in the Great Northwest. The Rockets won a tight game, but since that time, both of these teams have had drastic overhauls. The Portland Trail Blazers are still losing with those overhauls, but the Rockets now playing with an extreme amount of confidence.
The Rockets have made some changes, and they've all been positive. Bobby Sura, Juwan Howard, you look at all of those types of players, David Wesley. What a team the Rockets are really on a roll.
Well, right now, Tracy McGrady playing pretty good basketball, although the last few games he hasn't played up to Tracy McGrady's standards, but the Rockets have been able to win. Now, tonight, Ruben Patterson can put the clamps on a guy if he wants to.
Yeah, but Patterson has not been used to guarding Tracy McGrady. When Tracy McGrady faces the challenge of Ruben Patterson and somebody tells him they're going to put the clamp on him, look out. Tracy McGrady's going to have one of those 30-something point nights because he can just do it all. When has a game like he had in Indiana, the next game he plays really well.
Ruben has been coming off the bench, but since he has started in about the last month or so, he's put up some very good figures. Okay, Yao Ming, he poses problems for everybody. He played pretty well until he got in foul trouble in Indiana the other night. If he stays out of foul trouble, he should pose a lot of problems for this team.
As we watch Yao right now, he's doing a much better job of getting in position and keeping the ball up high and then going to the basket very, very strong. You'll see it on different plays. Rebound, see him pivot to himself, see him be physical. So goes Yao, so goes the Rockets. If he goes a long ways, look out for this Rocket team.
Well, I think so goes Bob Sura. Sometimes so goes the Rockets. And he'll be in against Damon Stoudamire. This should be interesting because Stoudamire has a lot more quickness.
Yeah, Stoudamire's had a great last 10 basketball games. His three-point shooting percentage has gone way up. And let me say this, I don't care what your stats are. Anytime you got Bobby Sura, you got a shot because here's toughness, here's hard noses. He goes to the basket. His outside shot has gotten so much better than it was 10 games ago. Look for Stoudamire to have his hands full of Bobby Sura.
Time for the Toyota Power Team. Keys to the game.
I think the number one key that you got to look at is stop guard penetration. You got Van Exel, you got him, you got Stoudamire carry the ball to the hole. The Rockets had to continue with ball movement. Ball reversal is the key to what they've been doing lately. And then balanced scoring. They had 5 people in double figures the other night in Indy. That's what they got to have tonight to win basketball games.
Rockets playing with an extreme amount of confidence. They'll have to keep it going against a Portland team that seems to play better when the competition is better. Juwan Howard, playing the best basketball of his career, will help lead the Rockets as they face Portland coming up next here on FSN. Again, everybody, and welcome back to the Toyota Center in Houston. NBA action for you tonight as the Houston Rockets trying to win their 7th game in a row, going against the Portland Trail Blazers, who come in with a 20-28 record. Here tonight, Southwest Airlines starting lineups, and Ruben Patterson will be in against Tracy McGrady tonight. Ratliff can jump through the ceiling. He'll be matched up with Juwan Howard. That should be a good rebounding battle. Joel Prisbilla has been rebounding the ball very well. Will match up with Yao. Nick Van Exel, who makes his home in Houston, against David Wesley. And Damon Stoudamire will try to use his quickness and long-range shooting against Bob Sure-Shot Sura. So we're just about ready to go now, and it's good news for David Wesley as he leads the Rockets. They are 16-6 since he came to this ball club over a month ago. We'll be back with a tip-off in a moment.
All trucks are not created equal. This Toyota Tacoma, it's bigger, it's faster. It's Motor Trend's 2005 Truck of the Year. And this hot commodity has a big brother, better known as the awesome full-size Tundra. Save $3,500 on a new 04 Texas Edition Tundra. Or lease a new 05 Tundra for $249 a month for 36 months with only $249 due at signing. Hey, when high quality runs in the family, you can't go wrong. Toyota Trucks, now that's moving you forward.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Toyota Center in downtown Houston as the Rockets take on the Portland Trail Blazers. We're just moments away from tip-off. Let's go courtside, and Jeff Hagedorn.
All right, thank you, Bill. You know, there are a number of factors that have played a role in the Rockets' current 6-game winning streak, improved scoring, rebounding, you name it, but you can't overlook the play of Bobby Sura. After missing the first 14 games of the season while recovering from back surgery, Sura got off to a slow start in December, but take a look at how his production climbed in January. And so far this month, Bobby's numbers are simply eye-popping. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists per game. I asked him what the biggest difference has been, and he said aside from being healthy, he and his teammates have some great chemistry going right now, Bill, and it really shows.
Yeah, you're right. It really does, Jeff. That chemistry is a hard thing to put your finger on, isn't it, Coach? Because you just don't know. Sometimes it won't be the best players in the league, but just the way they play together.
Yeah, sometimes addition by subtraction makes you a better basketball team. In this case, Bobby Sura coming in, he's just giving them a hard nose and attitude. You had Wesley, Juwan Howard. I think about his rebounding is going up, and that's been a major difference. Offensive rebounding for Juwan Howard.
Now, the Rockets, though, are going to have to be ready to go in the paint tonight because Theo Ratliff at 6'10", really plays about 7'2". Ruben Patterson will get right up in your face. Joel Prisbilla, since they made him a starter, this is a young man now at 7'1" who has been rebounding a whole lot better, although he should not be able to play eye-to-eye with Yao Ming. Prisbilla was drafted by the Rockets, as you'll remember, when he came into the league, and that was a draft day trade. The Rockets sent him to Milwaukee. Blazers win the tip. Nick Van Exel gives it up to Damon Stoudamire. Stoudamire down to Patterson now since he's become a starter, and he's improved his numbers dramatically. And we have a foul inside called on Tracy McGrady. Mo Cheeks is the fourth year as the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. And a Chicago native, he entered the NBA coaching ranks after 15 years in the NBA. He spent 11 years with the Philadelphia 76ers, winning the championship. One of the best point guards in the business, Coach.
Yeah, he's done an outstanding job as a player, but to coach this team right now, Coach Van Gundy is really griping at the official. He said that Patterson passed the basketball off, and it should not be a foul, 2 shots. It should be ball out of bounds on the side.
The officials for tonight's game will be Jim Clark, Sean Corbin, and Tony Brown. Tony Brown, Sean Corbin, and Jim Clark, the officials for tonight's game. And already, according to the Rockets, they missed one.
Now they start out in their staple play where they're just running a little screen and roll, getting David Wesley a shot.
Boy, he's been hot, hasn't he? David Wesley has now scored in double figures in 6 straight games for the first time since joining the Rockets. And over that 6-game winning streak, Wesley is averaging almost 14 points a game. So he has really been on a run. Nick Van Exel can light you up. He lives in Houston. He loves to play here, no matter who he's playing for. When he was playing for Dallas, boy, he could put up some big numbers against the Rockets.
It's like coming home to him. Not many people think about that, so he wants to show his family and friends he still got it.
He's one of those streak shooters. When he gets on a roll, he's tough to stop. Yao Ming gets a double team. Back to McGrady. 4 on the shot clock. Back to Yao. Beautiful play. Juwan Howard with the offensive rebound and the putback. Boy, he has been doing that for the last 3 weeks.
Offensive rebounding, no one right now in this league is doing any better job than he is, and then he's able to score after he does it.
And Prisbilla. Beautiful dunk, but he stepped out of bounds before he was able to dunk it.
You and I are always asking each other questions. How can you be a pro basketball player and step out of bounds before you receive the pass to dunk it? I do not understand it.
I don't either, Coach. It's just one of those questions that we'll never have the answer to. You know what that is? That's a rhetorical, right?
But nobody uses those kind of words around me. We got a basketball game to describe.
I'm sorry. It's 4-3, Rockets. And Damon Stoudamire has been really putting some points up over the last 3 weeks. He and Van Eck said you have to guard them at the three-point line. They are an absolute threat from there. Van Exel leans in, and he hits another, and he came to play tonight, folks, I can tell.
Yeah, you see what they do now, they're splitting the ball handling duties, and then that can wear you down. One of them handles it one time, the other one handles it, and then therefore you can score more.
T-Mac gets a double team right away. That leaves Yao open for an 18-footer. Bingo. Yao Ming. Rockets back up by a point. It's interesting the way he can stretch a defense now, too, and the Rockets are using him more from the outside. Ratliff's not a real good outside shooter. He tries to set the pick. Good pickup by Jawan. Prisbilla shoots it over Yao and makes it. Well, he's playing with a lot more confidence, Joel Prisbilla. It looked like the first 4 seasons he would not be an NBA player.
Harold Dawson's always told me, he said, man, be patient with big players. It takes them about 4 years longer.
There's a turnover. Patterson on the run will slam it. You can tell already how athletic this Portland team is. Underachieving, I would call them, at 20 and 28. But they came to play tonight. We have a timeout. Jeff Van Gundy not happy with the way his team started out. Blazers up by 3. .25 left to play in the first quarter. We are tied. Let's take a look at tonight's McDonald's League leaders. Best record games decided by 3 points or less, and as you can tell, the Portland Trailblazers are pretty good in a tight game at 5-1. The Rockets aren't bad at 7-3, Van, but it's indicative of you'd like to put this team away early.
Yes, and not only that, usually teams that have losing records, they're not 5-1 in close basketball games. That's usually an indication of teams that lose close basketball games. That's why the Rockets need a lead, because here's why they can win them. They got guards that can go in and create at the end.
So with 5:25 left, 11-11, the score tied. 36% shooting by the Rockets to 56% by the Blazers.
Now they bring in Randolph because they didn't have enough offense into the basketball game. They had 3 scorers in. Now they bring in Randolph to add a 4th scorer.
He can score 19 points a game. There's number 50. Stoudamire giving it up, and just bad hands by Ratliff.
Right now, the Rockets have caught Portland in a little bit of a lull offensively. They got to be able to take advantage of it. You need it. You're at home early in the game. You need to get the lead. Right now, I'd find a way to get Tracy McGrady a little more involved in the offense.
And a whistle away from the ball. The foul is called on Ratliff, Theo Ratliff, out of Wyoming in his 10th NBA campaign. He's always been on the thin side, but it's a wiry kind of strength, and he jumps so quickly. But when we played them in Portland, Yao got Ratliff with 5 fouls early and also got 4 fouls on Prisbilla. So they committed 9 fouls trying to guard Yao Ming, and that game played back on November 21st.
And in that game, I thought he was basically one of the differences in the basketball game, was he's able to get down really deep on them and be able to operate offensively.
Here he is shooting it over Prisbilla. Yao Ming with the Shanghai shake.
And they don't double him very much, and so that's why he's able to score against them in the previous game and in this game.
Look at Yao out there chasing Stoudamire. Now this guy can score, folks. He is a legitimate NBA basketball player, Zach Randolph.
They send him into the game for instant offense. What does he do on his first time he touches it? He scores.
Juwan Howard short. Needs to get his legs up under him a little better, maybe a little outside his zone. And Exel turns the corner. Randolph on the perimeter to Stoudamire. Stoudamire gets inside the defense. That creates a shot for Van Exel, but he misses. And Juwan Howard with another rebound. Patterson. And another rebound by Howard. Fresh 24 for Houston. McGrady takes it right down to Yao. Yao had great position. Priscilla had no help.
We talked about it, reversing the basketball. The Rockets made 4 passes on that time, and then once again, Portland lets Yao get in too deep.
Oh, man, look at that travel by Van Exel, but it ends up being a turnover. Sura behind the back. He's got the numbers. Sura to the basket for 2. Well, I kept waiting for him to pass it, but so did Portland. So nobody picked him up. You're supposed to pick up the ball, aren't you?
So when he saw that, he's big enough that he can go in and put it over a small guard defender. He didn't need to pass. You don't want to overpass.
It's the biggest lead of the game now for either team. And Exel, nice little fake, 17-footer, missed it. And the rebound to Yao. 9-2 run by Houston. Brady gets it right back from Yao. Yao sets a pick. McGrady to the basket. T-back to the rack. Oh, man.
Let me tell you, here's why he's getting open. Yao's setting the screen. They're not coming out and defending him. The big guy from him is not coming out and hipping, and so he's just coming off of it and going to the hole.
Mo Cheeks wants to talk about that in this 22nd timeout, as always, brought to you by Deja Blue, the official bottled water of the Houston Rockets. Okay, talk about it again, Coach.
Yes, you'll see this now. Bobby's going to go down into here, and I'm going to show you about ball movement, Bill, and the different things they do. They're reversing the ball out, and see, let's run a little bit of that, guys. We reverse it out to Howard. Now we're going to kick it over. Watch out, come right here now. Okay, see, Tracy kick it right inside to him, and then he's too deep, he's too close, and we have it now. He steps up, and there's nothing they can do about it. They're not doubling him at any time.
Yeah, that looked like somebody really fouled up their defensive assignment there. Priscilla can't stop him one-on-one.
No, because Priscilla looks much smaller than Yao. He's 5 inches shorter, but when you look at him messed up on the floor, it looks like a foot or more. Yao's just dominating him inside. As you see, Houston has outscored him 11-2 in the last 4 minutes.
Well, for the first time, we're going to see Sebastian Telfair, the youngster right out of high school, Abraham Lincoln High School. New York is in the game. And Darius Miles is also in the game. There's another youngster that came right out of high school. He's been in the league 4 years, however. Van Exel is trapped on the perimeter. Randolph bails him out. It's too far out for Randolph. He likes to operate a little closer in. And he missed. And Howard goes and gets it. Dikembe Mutombo is in the game, along with Howard, Tracy, Sura, and David Wesley. Sura turns the corner all the way to the basket, and Priscilla comes out and blocks it. All right, now the numbers belong to the Blazers. Van Exel alley up, and Darius Miles goes high for the slam.
And that's what you cannot do. You cannot allow the Trailblazers to just run up and down freely. You got to get back, put a body on somebody.
Tracy leans across the lane, short on the shot. He's fouled on the play. Darius Miles.
But conversely, I don't think that you can allow their defenders to get out on an island against Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming and be able to defend them without double teaming those two guys.
Rod Strickland now will check into the game for Bob Sura. Sura played 17 straight minutes before coming out in Indiana the other night, and he has the numbers to prove it as McGrady puts it up. Rockets are improving as a free throw shooting team. They're up to number 8 in the NBA now in free throw shooting, almost 78%. McGrady 77%.
Strickland came in the other night and Indian just made a big-time basket going down the stretch.
Are you going to talk about that one basket for the rest of the month?
I think he'll get another one. He's out there now, matched up defensively.
I hope he gets another one. Stoudamire picked up out. Boy, you're a coach, aren't you? Sebastian Telfair. Priscilla giving it up to Randolph. He hit the side of the glass. Knocked out of bounds by Houston. 3 seconds on the shot clock for Portland. Looked like Priscilla may have bumped knees with somebody. He's still limping.
Just that I'd watch now Portland trying to run any kind of little action for Stoudamire coming off of a double screen, allowing him to get it up really, really quick.
Billa flashed inside. Nobody saw him. Stoudamire floated it up, and McGrady with the rebound. Billa was wide open.
Nobody picked him up, but didn't nobody on their team pick him up either.
I don't think Miles saw him. Oh, they saw deep. And Mutombo with a beautiful pass from Tracy McGrady.
The Rockets are really executing high post pick and roll or side post pick and roll anywhere. Right now, Portland's not defending that too well.
13-4 run by Houston. McGrady with 4 assists in the 13 points. Almost a steal by the Rockets. Stoudamire has not scored yet. Randolph puts it up from way downtown, misses, tipped outside, a loose ball foul on Portland. Well, the Rockets defense coach has really zeroed in on the Trailblazers.
Yeah, they're contesting every shot defensively right now. And what I think is the hardest defensive assignment to do is when you come out, the Rockets are going to go the length of the court and shoot 2 free throws. But Bill, the hardest thing to do is what I call closeout defense. That's to be in the lane, help it, and then go out and close out on the defensive performance. David Wesley is doing some kind of defensive job on Stoudamire this quarter.
That was the 5th team foul on the Blazers, so the Rockets now will be shooting. 37 seconds left. The Rockets still have a foul to give as Patterson comes in for Billa, and the Blazers will go small. That means Ryan Bowen now will come in for Tracy McGrady.
The other coach can't make any moves that Jeff Van Gundy's not going to counter with any situation right now to close out the quarter. The Rockets are in a great situation to get 2 for 1 here to close it out.
Bowen doesn't get a lot of minutes, but he makes use of the minutes he gets, doesn't he?
Well, when he comes into the game, let me tell you about Ryan Bowen. He's excited. He's thrilled to get his 37 seconds. He's thinking right now, I'm going to get me a rebound. I'm going to shut somebody down.
Well, that's uncharacteristic for Mutombo, one of the better free throw shooters in the league, as he misses both. He's an 80% free throw shooter. Stoudamire turns the corner, still can't get a shot on. 10 seconds on the shot clock. They'll go to Randolph. Randolph on the drive. There's Ryan Bowen again. Taking it away. Saved. And the Rockets will get the final 14 seconds. Jeff Van Gundy calls the play to Rod Strickland. Mutombo comes out high. Strickland. Time for that elusive second basket. Well, it'll be Portland's ball.
Dang, Rod, I thought you had made that shot. You had come off the screen. You was in position. You got to put it in.
And almost a steal by Juwan Howard with a second and a half.
Watch a little backdoor lob where they're taking Randolph, flares out and goes for a back cut.
Patterson will have a second and a half. Telfair is wide open and misses at the buzzer. That's some kind of Houston Rockets defense. They almost held the Trailblazers scoreless the final 5 minutes of that first quarter. And here we go to the second period. Rockets 23, Blazers 15. Royce Builders has teamed up with the Rockets to send Houston area students to college. For each Rockets block shot during the season, $50 will be donated to the RoyceBuilders.com Foundation for Youth. Log on to RoyceBuilders.com for scholarship information.
Bill, here's why the Rockets are having so much success on offense. You watch Tracy right here, or anybody. Here comes Deke setting the screen. He comes off of it. I'm going to show you where the defender is. Roll that a little bit, guys. Okay, here we come up. Stop it. Freeze it right there. See, their post player is back here. This is the guy guarding deep. Nobody's stopping penetration right there. Now it's an easy angle. He rolls to the basket, and you kick it right there. Roll it forward, guys. See that? Great execution.
Back to live action. Juwan Howard takes it to the basket. Mutombo has it blocked. They're going to be a jump ball. Looks like Miles tied him up.
And as long as Portland stays back on the pick and roll, the Rockets are going to be able to do a lot of great things offensively. As you watch Howard go to the basket, here comes Deke coming up, and then they do a good job of getting the jump ball out of that situation.
Rockets ended the quarter on a 15-4 run the last 6.5 minutes. T-Mac had 7 of those points and 4 assists. So it'll be Wesley in the game along with Strickland, Ryan Bowen, Mutombo, and Juwan Howard. Darius Miles will jump against the 7-2 Macumbo, and it was a bad kick. But the Rockets get it anyway, or a bad toss, I should have said. 5'10" official trying to throw it up for a 7'2" athlete. Foul is called on Damon Stoudamire, his first of the game. So he gets his first foul before he gets his first point.
And this is from a guy that's been red hot in his last 10 basketball games. But right now, David Wesley just won't give him a shot.
Cross court to Wesley. What a catch. But the only thing he could do with it was get it back into Stoudamire. Stoudamire is fouled. It counts. Strickland with the foul.
Portland came out in the 2-3 zone out of the sideline out of bounds, and then that's a good defense against the Rockets because David Wesley is the best outside shooter, but if they stay in that zone, here comes John Barry.
Now, Coach Damon Stoudamire has made 51 consecutive free throws. He's missed only 6 times in 112 attempts. The 51 straight by Stoudamire is a franchise record.
You almost jinxed him out of it. You tried it, reveled in, and almost came out.
I almost got Calvin Murphy, too, back years ago, that first season. I believe it was 1980 season. He went for the tie break. He had the tying free throw. And he went out several times, came back in. Off the foot of Patterson, heady play.
Give Coach Cheek a great credit for this. He's now switched to a zone because with Strickland and Ryan Bowen in there against the zone, the Rockets don't have that many zone busters.
It's only a 5-point Houston lead. Tumbo comes out high. And on the pass off, foul is called on Darius Miles, and that's 2 quick fouls by Miles.
But when you're going to bring a sub in, if I'm them, I don't worry about his 2 fouls. Let him go ahead and play. And if he gets in foul trouble, put the starter back in.
Strickland on the drive, gets it inside, back to Wesley. Wesley drives it back to Strickland, down the baseline. No place to go, but he goes to Juwan Howard, and he knows where to go with it. Juwan Howard with 6 points, 7 for McGrady, 6 for Yao. Stoudamire passes off. Miles has to get it out to Telfair. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Miles misses, and the rebound goes to Randolph. Fresh 24 for Portland. Blazers really having trouble getting a good shot, and now a foul is called on Wesley. And Stoudamire will bring it in. I thought he was shooting that.
Yes, I thought they were changed out in my mind. They would give him 2 free throws on that. He was in the neighborhood and thought about shooting, but they did not. And here's a great David Wesley, outstanding defense tonight. John Barry now comes in to be able to beat the zone a little bit, and there's some matchup. When Stoudamire goes out, David Wesley goes back in. When he comes back in the game, I look for David to go back in the game.
Nick Van Exel now has come into the game for Stoudamire. Zach Randolph's going to force him up the shot. He hadn't had one. Well, he got surrounded, so he passed it back out. 3 seconds, down to 2, down to 1. Miles did not get it off in time. Another 24-second violation. Portland has only 6 turnovers. They had only 6 turnovers in their first meeting with Houston. They already have 7 tonight.
And what's happening to them, they have a team that likes to penetrate and get to the basket. The Rockets are kind of playing a man zone, allowing no penetration.
Oh, this is tough to get it across the line. It's going to be a jump ball. Howard and Patterson. Boy, Strickland just couldn't get the ball. They trapped him. He didn't see it coming. And he was lucky to beat that 8-second whistle.
Yes, and great defense right now. You'll see Rod turn his back, and when he does and goes behind his back, they trap him, and then they come up and get on Juwan Howard at the center line. Anytime you have a trap, somebody's got a rotation. Good defense, jump ball for them.
He had Ryan Bowen wide open underneath the basket. Of course, you've got other problems. You can't look that far, but if you've got that many people trapping at midcourt.
You're getting your back to the basket. You're getting double-teamed everywhere. You can't see those guys under the basket. They got to come out and hit you.
Strickland on the attack for Houston, down to Juwan Howard. Puts up a little jumper. Got the rebound. Slams it home. Boy, Mutombo has played so well against Portland. In the first game, Mutombo had 15 points, 11 rebounds against the Trailblazers.
This is a small lineup in for them, and Houston's size is able to take advantage of that. They have no post player in the game at this time.
5 offensive rebounds for Houston now so far. Telfair with a miss, and John Howard takes it away from Mutombo. And Howard now with 7 rebounds. Down low to deep. It's kind of an afterthought, and he traveled. He got in between whether he wanted to shoot or pass. That's the 3rd turnover by Houston and 7 turnovers by the Trailblazers. The Rockets have really improved in that turnover category, Coach. They're down to 14 a game now.
Yes, and they've just improved in every area of the game. Scoring, turnovers, field goal percentage, 3-point shooting. From 6 weeks ago, it's unbelievable the turnaround this basketball team has had in every stat.
There is Miles. Passes off to Randolph. Randolph will put it up. It was contested by Bowen. Every shot Portland gets is contested, and the Trailblazers now down to 36% as a team from the field. Barry saves it. Still 9 seconds on the shot clock. Trap on Barry. Behind the back to Howard. Cross court to Strickland. Short little jumper. Missed it. And Juwan Howard with a loose ball foul. Strickland still trying to get his shot. Get his legs underneath him. We have a timeout on the court. 8:20 left to play in the second period. Rockets up 27-18. 27-18 Houston. Don't forget Bobblehead Tuesdays at Toyota Center. Every Tuesday there's a home game. The first 5,000 fans get a free bobblehead collectible. The big man himself, Yao Ming, is next on the list, and you can collect them all. So be here this Tuesday when the Rockets take on the resurgent Washington Wizards. For tickets, call 713-627-DUNK or visit Rockets.com. I know he's in. Are you in?
It's going to be a great game. They are featuring 2 All-Stars on that basketball team. The bobblehead night's great, but it's going to be a terrific game.
Gilbert Arenas right now is playing as well as anybody in basketball, and Antoine Jamison, he's trying to show the Dallas Mavericks they should have kept him. Sebastian Telfair. He was drafted #1 by the Trailblazers amid a... And there's a foul call. Scott Padgett, who just checked into the game.
And right now, the Rockets are forcing Portland to become just a jump-shooting basketball team. They're closing down the middle and won't let them get to the basket. Now they're just having to take 15-footers. They can't get close enough. They can't penetrate and do all that dunking they like to do. They cut down the fast break. Great defensive job right now by the Rockets.
Ruben Patterson has been around a long time in this league. Played 6 seasons with 3 different teams. The Lakers he started out with. He had great success at Seattle on some very good Seattle teams. And then the Portland Trailblazers. But as we told you earlier, he's a 59% free throw shooter. John Barry hits the ball up in a hurry. Van Exel out there with Telfair. Darius Miles. Look at this lineup, Coach. For the Rockets, Strickland taking Telfair down low. The ball is loose. Saved by Barry. Throws it out of bounds.
Tremendous hustle, though, by the Rockets, led by John Barry. I think that's what's carried them to 6 straight victories, effort. And their attitude is right now that no one can do it.
Both offenses now have slowed down considerably. Telfair out of Brooklyn, New York. Not a very good shooter. Obviously, that's the part of the game he's going to have to work on.
Listen, he's now out there going one-on-one. I know the Rockets like that.
T-Mac missed it. Dikembe Mutombo with a loose. Now it's going to be called on Zach Randolph. Loose ball foul on Zach Randolph. Telfair comes out of the game now. Damon Stoudamire will come in. Bob Sura will come in for Strickland. Now Theo Ratliff will come back in.
Yeah, I look for Stoudamire now. He's going to try to get in the game, get his shot off because David Wesley is on the bench. He's had trouble scoring against David, so what he's looking for the opportunity. I'm going to try to make my time up and see if I can get my points while he's out.
John Barry with a high arching jump shot. JB. Wow. Back to Patterson the other way, and he missed the layup. Tipped outside for Stoudamire. How did John Barry make that shot?
How did Patterson miss that layup?
Sura with a foul out front. That's the 15th foul on Houston.
You go back to John Barry. Look at him now. He's going to be faking, doing every little thing, step back, overrapping. But he thought, hey, you guys over there doubting me? That's his thought process.
He had a shot blocker on him, and right here with a miss.
I think you got to dunk that basketball right there. You can't sit there and you're a pro men's player. You got to dunk the ball. Try to think about making a layup.
Stoudamire was Mr. High School basketball in the state of Oregon. He was a star at Portland, in Portland. And came here after a little stint in Toronto. Came to Portland. Starred in the league. They said he was too small to play this game, but he showed them in Arizona and he's showing them in the NBA. And that's the first time he has scored here. Stoudamire from the free throw line in a while, 5 points. T-Mac with a miss, and Padgett tries to get the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Reddick. Tracy McGrady's in a little shooting slump over the last 3 games, Coach.
And I think those are the types of things happen to you. But one of the reasons is defenses right now are geared to him. Every time he touches it, the little lob play they used to run for him, everybody's ready for it, and they just got a hand in his face.
But what he has done is pass the ball off to the open teammate. He says, let me have this ball again. I'm not going to miss him up. He throws his hands up. He says, finally. Tracy McGrady, 31-21, 10-point lead, biggest of the game for Houston. Stoudamire gets one off, looking out of the corner of his eye. Sura in the open court. Gives it up to T-Mac. T-Mac gets it inside, throws it off the glass. Tip. Sura goes and gets it. Little hook pass. And T-Mac to the rack.
Offensive rebounding. That's what the Rockets are doing very, very well lately.
Boy. And again, a timeout by Portland. Trailblazers being out-hustled here on the court. Rockets getting all the loose balls and playing solid defense, giving up only 21 points with 6:03 left in the second period. Here's the deal. 37-22, Houston Rockets fans, if you're hungry for a free Big Mac, you know the deal, right, Coach? What is it?
Oh, yes. You score 100, we get it. If we don't get 80, they don't get 80, you get 1. And tonight, I'll guarantee you they're not going to get 80, and we're going to win. So take those thugs, go to McDonald's, get a free Big Mac, Jack.
Why would...
That wasn't what the card said, but that's what it meant.
It's not anywhere close, and in fact, that's it. McDonald's and the Rockets, I'm loving it. I'm supposed to say that.
Oh, yeah, but...
I know you're loving it.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, Jeff.
Wasn't the pregame prediction by Coach that the Rockets would score 100, not that they would hold the Blazers under 80?
That's correct.
Okay, just checking.
Yes.
See, if you're going to win at anything, guys, you got to have a selective memory. I didn't remember that. I thought I said if they don't get 80.
I believe he also said the Eagles would win the Super Bowl straight up, but he enjoyed the fact that he had 7 points.
Well, we like to forget all of those predictions.
Yes.
There's Yao Ming with a fade. What a move by Yao Ming. He went left and then went back right. The Shanghai Shake had 2 shakes in it. And it's 2:09 left to play in the quarter. 39-24 Houston. 24 points for the Blazers, and we're almost at the half. Only 9 points in the quarter for Portland.
13 in Memphis the other night. What about that?
Look at that defense. And the Rockets save it. Here comes Barry out of the pack on the run. Giving it up to Sura. Sura takes it to the middle. Barry's all alone in the corner. Get in there. JB for a 3, and it wouldn't go. Juwan puts it up. He misses. And Stoudamire right back the other way. He'll pull up and shoot. He's just looking for any kind of a shot he can get. 27% shooting by Portland. Tracy to Juwan Howard. Collects himself, takes it up, and it went in. I don't know if Chris Bella gets an assist or not, but the ball went in anyway. And it's 41-24, Rockets 17 points. A foul is called. Right now, the only way Portland can score is to get to the free throw line. 7 of the 9 points scored by Portland in this quarter have come from the free throw line. That means they have only 1 field goal.
Sometimes a team is not scoring because they're just not shooting very well. But right now, it's the Rockets' defense. And you look at Maurice Cheek, he's thinking, hey, what have I got to do? Maybe I need to suit up.
And they're not shooting that well when they get the free throws. 8 of 15 from the free throw line for 53%. Randolph misses.
Well, at my age, I can make 8 out of 15 with my eyes blindfolded.
Well, we'll check on that tomorrow as Wesley and Paget will check into the game, and Sura will sit down. Sura has 9 rebounds already. What's your form? Are you underhanded?
No, I got beautiful form. I mean, it's one thing I can still do is shoot the basketball. I can't do anything else.
What about your golf swing? I've seen that.
Well, my free throw shooting is much better than my golf swing. I'll tell you that right now. I have a lot more confidence in it.
Good.
Oh, that hurts.
Under a minute. T-Mac goes around Patterson. Pass to Yao Ming, and he missed the shot. There's that fall-away dunk shot of his. T-Mac, I think he was going for the steal. He got caught in between, and a foul, and Patterson will go to the line. That's the second foul on Tracy McGrady.
I think that's a call they did not want to make. If Patterson had have caught the basketball and carried it to the basket and had any kind of move, they would have let it go.
So Patterson, you're going to have to take a 20-second timeout because he's not ready to play. And a timeout taken by Portland. 41 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Portland has scored only 1 field goal in this quarter. 1 for 12 for the Blazers.
For the past 4 years, the Union Houston have been treated to important tickets for every Rockets home game. Thanks to the generous donations of Rockets Board of Take. Let's get it over tonight's collection project and the continued generosity of Reese.
Here are tonight's headlines on the Southwest Sports Report. We have the Rockets postgame show. Jose Canseco, an interview. And the College Classic at Minute Maid. 6 of the best teams in college baseball duking it out this weekend. It's all coming up after the game on the Busch Light Southwest Sports Report. That College Classic they have every year at Minute Maid. Texas A&M, terrific team. Of course, the Rice Owls, Oklahoma State, Houston, and Tennessee.
Oh, they brought in an SEC team. I'd see now they're going to have a real baseball team in here next weekend.
What are the last 3 national champions, Coach?
Well, Rice won one. I know that. I can remember that. Who won last year? Texas. And who won 2 years ago?
That was Texas 2 years ago.
No SEC team.
You're correct on
Must have been umpiring out there. That's all I can figure out. John Barry's over here with us discussing that last shot where he hit the edge of the corner of the backboard. He thought that rainbow shot was a great shot, but now he's thinking, hey, somebody move the basket. I think that's what he's asking us on that last shot of his.
Somebody's moved it for Portland. 26% for the Portland Trailblazers. Patterson will be at the free throw line. 9 of 16 for Portland. The Portland Trailblazers have made more free throws than they have field goals. They have only 8 field goals. This is their 10th. No, they didn't make that one. So now they are 9 of 17.
You know my answer to that. Get in the gym somewhere. You're getting paid big money. Learn to make a free throw. It's the easiest thing in the world to do.
Well, Patterson gets 1 out of 2. That's 10 of 18 from the line. So the Blazers are getting to the free throw line, but they have only 8 field goals. They're going to pressure the ball now. Wesley is picked up by Stoudamire, and Patterson will be out on Tracy McGrady. Stepping out is Scott Paget, and he missed the 3. air conditioning vent must be blowing hard at that end.
It's only affecting, thank goodness, Padgett's and Barry's shot. It's not affecting anybody else's shot right now.
No three-pointers for either team here tonight. That's kind of unusual, isn't it?
Very unusual when you think about Van Exel. Looked like to me he's over there on the side saying, when am I going to get my next shot? You better watch him coming out in the second half.
One more second on the game clock, so 6 seconds now on the shot clock as Stoudamire stops and finally hit. 3 seconds for the Rockets. Wesley with 1 second left gets it off in time and it almost went in. And he was fouled before, and he's going to get 2 free throws out of it. He was fouled. But I didn't think they don't usually call it. Now Jimmy Clark's coming over. They're going to check. They're going to check and see if there was any time left or not.
Whether it was a foul or not, how many times have you seen that call this year in your career announcing these games? Not very many. I'll answer that one for you.
Well, if the foul was called before the shot, then I think he's going to have some time. There it is, as he's fouled right there with 1/10 of a second left. Wasn't it?
Yes, and you see him with his arm up. He's got a call. I think there's going to be 2 free throws right now for one of the best free throw shooters in the NBA.
There it is right there. Yeah. There was the whistle before the shot was taken. So, .1 is what should be on the clock.
And what our official announcer, John Barry, says it is. He says it's .1 on the clock.
Well, you know, he's a man of all talents. He's over here doing a little color.
Yeah, look at him. Hey, Ton, what happened to you on that shot that hit the side of the backboard? Yeah, right there.
There it is.
Yes. We got it.
Actually,
no red.
It's .2, and so he will get free throws. You're right, Coach. 2 free throws. Now, is it a 3? Does he get 3 free throws out of it? Yeah. Where was he when he was fouled? Yes. He might get, it might be, if it's behind the 3, yeah, he's behind the 3-point line. He's going to get 3 freebies out of this. Wesley is an 86% free throw shooter. Now Maurice Cheeks is going to argue with Jim Clark, but he's going to lose it.
Well, it's tough to say that if he's up in the air, where he calls the foul, it's his decision whether there's actually 2 free throws or 3 free throws.
So Wesley, they're going to put .2 up on the clock, and David will have 3 free throws. Oh, what a bonus this is.
But I can tell you right now, there's some coaches, they just have to go ahead and throw on out of here right now. No question in my mind about that. Yeah, because they just don't think you should call that. I'm talking about there's some coaches that coach in the NBA, you just have to toss them. They'd be arguing so bad, so hard.
Well, he was fouled. Now, whether he had a legitimate shot, and David gets all 3 free throws. And what a frustrating first half for the Portland Trailblazers. David Wesley is loving it, talking a little trash as he goes to the locker room. But what a defensive first half for the Rockets, 44-28. Stay with us. Tonight's Toyota Power Team halftime report comes your way after the break. Here tonight's Bud Light first half stats, and Coach, I know this warms your heart to see these kinds of statistics.
You like them all? Go right there. You got 9 offensive rebounds for 15 points. That'll give yourself a shot to win. That's why the Rockets are up at this time.
All right, let's go to Jeff Hagedorn.
Well, Bill, defensively, I think it's fair to say that assistant head coach Tom Thibodeau was pleased with the effort in the first half. As for the final 24 minutes, he says they can't allow Stoudamire and Van Exel to get going from 3-point range, and they have to defend Randolph into the game. What he means is don't let him get loose in the paint.
Well, defend them they have is Portland right now. Stoudamire 2 for 6, Van Exel 2 for 6, Zach Randolph 1 for 7. And listen to this, the Houston defense in the last 3 quarters. 13 against Indiana, 15 and 13 a quarter tonight. How about that?
Yes, and that's one of the reasons Les Alexander hired Jeff Van Gundy to bring defense here, and now he's done it 3 quarters as good as it gets, 15 or less 3 times. Unbelievable.
Obsura, who has 9 rebounds to go along with 2 points. So he's almost in double-figure rebounding. Over to Wesley. Looks like the Blazers' defense a little tougher. Here to start the third quarter. Down to 3 seconds on the shot clock. Wesley coming off the pick. Wow. Boy, is he in a good groove right now.
See, when your coach runs the same play in the first half and the second half for you, it just gives you confidence. You get to feeling good, and then you go to making shots.
Wesley got a little shocker just before that. Looks like he's still flexing his left hand and taking it into Prisbilla. That may be one of the most improved players I've seen this year, Coach. Joel Prisbilla. He couldn't do that a year ago.
He's moving. He's going to the hole. Right now, foul trouble is the only thing that's kind of hurt him in this basketball game. He's got to be able to play without fouling.
That's 6 points and 8 rebounds for Joel Prisbilla. Rockets drafted him 5 seasons ago, number 1. And Juwan will put up the jumper and hits it.
See, when you double McGrady, Juwan Howard makes you pay.
And Patterson gets a step inside, and the foul is called on Tracy McGrady. That's the third on McGrady. The Rockets, as I said, drafted Prisbilla, but they traded the draft pick for Jason Collier. They ended up, and then they picked up Eduardo Nahara. You'll remember that. His draft rights to Collier and Dan Langley. So Patterson now will be at the free throw line.
All to do about nothing, so to speak, as far as the bottom lines with the Rockets after all of what you just described.
That's correct. One of those players stayed around. Patterson is snake bit tonight. He is now 3 of 10 from the free throw line. He was a 59% free throw shooter when he came into this game. He may be down around 55 when he leaves. Again, Wesley comes off the pick. This time he bypasses the shot. 3 seconds, down to 2. Wesley gives it up to Yao, and a 24-second violation on Houston. That's good defense by the Blazers.
Yes, and I thought David should have realized at that point in time where the shot clock was. He's got to put it up. You can't worry about a good shot. Just get any shot.
18-point Houston lead, the largest of the game for the Rockets. And knocked out of bounds by Juwan Howard. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Patterson gives it back to Stoudamire. And that's a nice pass to Patterson. Gets it to Prisbilla for the second.
Prisbilla's strength. He's got quicker. He's jumping better. You can't leave him open.
Yeah, his strength is a lot better than I remember it. Wesley with a little fake. And an offensive foul. 3 seconds. That's 3 seconds on Yao.
Correction. 3 second violation.
Yeah, that's a lot better call. Yeah, if Yao Ming's going to get 3 seconds, I'd much rather have that than a personal foul.
You're right. 48-32 Rockets. Takes it inside, and that's going to be a late whistle. And a foul is called on Yao Ming, and now it's his second foul.
See, that's why 3 seconds on the other end, not an offensive foul, is so big. Now that's 2 instead of 3, and you'll see it right now. You see a little pick and roll play. You stick your knee out. Yeah, they're going to call that almost every time.
2 teams have played it close to the vest. The Rockets had lost 4 straight to the Trailblazers and then rebounded to win the last 4 games these two have played, but they have been very tight. The last 5 have been decided by an average of only 5 points. Rockets winning that one back on the 21st of November, 97-93 in Portland. Stoudamire is fouled by Wesley. It looks to me like maybe the Rockets have come out not quite as aggressive as they were to start the game.
Usually where it is, when you're up 15 or 16 to start the third quarter, you come out at halftime, you don't have the sense of urgency. I don't think they're playing as good a defense as they were in the first 2 quarters, but when the game tightens up, the defense will tighten.
That's 3 team fouls on the Rockets already. They haven't played quite 3 minutes into this third quarter. And the whistle again. And the foul is called on Wesley. And that's the 14th foul already, and we still have 9:20 left to play in the third period. So if the Blazers are going to get back into this one, they're going to use this quarter as the catalyst.
You watch a little pick and roll right now. David goes up and tries to just push him a little bit. That's the call they've been calling on the perimeter all year, up perimeter-wise, up on the body.
Stoudamire. After that, Ratliff puts up the jumper and got it. So Blazers getting some hustle points now.
Listen, it's the crucial time now. The Rockets have got to fight them off, go make plays.
Sura gets by Ratliff, takes it all the way underneath to T-Mac. Bobby gets the baseline. Bobby lays it up. Saw Ratliff coming, and that scared him to death.
He switched it to his left hand, but Bobby thought he got fouled.
Van Exel walk. Little Texas two-step. I guess he learned that when he moved here to Houston.
Yes, he lives over there pretty close to me in southwest part of Houston. I hear he got a bowling alley in his home.
Does he?
Yes, that's what I heard.
T-Mac. And turn around short.
If I had anything in my yard, I'd have me a putting green.
Would help.
Oh, I can putt. It's just my problems is the rest of the game. I can't do anything else.
Patterson taking it inside, back out to Stoudamire, and he threw it away. Well, the Rockets kind of stuck now around 48 points. Need to get going.
Yes, but they have a 14-point lead. That's still big. As long as you keep it in double digits, you're okay.
Just the tone of the game right now has changed a little bit. Let's see if Yao can change it with a shot over Prisbilla. Yes. Yao with 12 points, 11 for Howard, 11 for McGrady.
See, when you get in a little trouble, you're not scoring. You either go to either one of them, Yao or Tracy. More than likely, you're going to have a good shot and get a basket.
And Juwan Howard is right there to intercept that pass. Wesley gets it into Juwan. Juwan to Sura. Sura sets up McGrady. Good defense by the Blazers. McGrady to Yao. He goes for the dunk. No whistle. Sura almost gets the ball. Van Exel does. Now out on the perimeter. He's really playing spectacular defense. And that time he rakes the rebound down. Wesley will not take it in on Ratliff. They go right down to Yao Ming. Turns down the baseline. Leans it in over Ratliff. He just simply overpowered him.
If you don't double team the big man, he's going to get his points in a night.
Ratliff may be a good shot blocker, but the great wall of Yao just steamrolled him on that last basket. And a timeout taken by the Trailblazers. 52-34 Houston. Rockets up with 4:02 left in the third. Time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch. Yao Ming with 14 points and 6 rebounds. Joe Prisbilla with his 5th double-double of the season. Joe's played him pretty well, Coach.
He's done a nice job, I think. He's been able to force him out. I don't think in this particular case, Yao Ming's done his job. Joel has done his job. I think it's a break even for both of them. If you're watching now, here's how Yao Ming has done it. See how close he's getting. And then the difference is they're not giving any help on Yao Ming, and they're leaving Prisbilla out there on his own. And I think he's done a pretty nice job of guarding him.
What would you do if you were coaching against the Rockets? Would you double both Tracy and Yao, or who would you leave open?
Every time they touch the basketball, I'd double them. I'd make Bobby Sir beat me every time. And then if he did, I'd try somebody else.
Well, he's been doing that lately. 5 seconds, down to 4 on the shot clock, down to 3. Sura leans in, has it blocked by Prisbilla. That sets up a fast break. Miles to the basket, knocked out of bounds by McGrady. Good defense.
Anytime you get back on defense and you stop another team in this league from dunking the basketball or laying it up easy, you've done a good job. Ball out of bounds.
20 seconds on the shot clock for Portland. 3:45 left to play in the third quarter. Very defensive-minded game. Both defenses really challenging the shots by both teams. Van Exel back to Randolph. Randolph passes off. Inside, Prisbilla getting it done now. And that's 12 points. 9-2 run by Portland, and the Trailblazers are easing their way back into this game.
The Rockets have got to find an answer. They've got to be able to stop it. I mean, to be able to score right now. Get with Tracy, a little screen and roll with him and Yao.
Three. Sure, down to Juwan Howard, down to 5 on the shot clock. Howard, nice fake on Randolph, and Prisbilla blocks it. Wow, what a block. Stoudamire's wide open for the three, and he hits it, and we've got a ball game, folks. This is a 12-2 run by Portland, and just like that, that's how NBA basketball can change.
And you take away those three free throws that Dave Weston made right before halftime, we'd have a real game.
Tracy with a backcourt violation. A turnover by Houston. So Dikembe Mutombo now will come into the game, try to provide some interior defense for the Rockets. Yao Ming will sit down.
Now the 5 guys in for Portland right now are very explosive offensively. They now have 5 people that can actually score for them, go to the hole, do a lot of different things.
An 18-point Houston lead has been whittled down to 8. Here's Villa to Stoudamire. He'll put up a 3, and he hits it. And just like that, folks, it is a 5-point game.
You asked me how to defense, and right now I'd get Tracy McGrady the basketball some way. Miles is not experienced enough, not strong enough to guard him.
Grady hits. That was a great pick by Juwan Howard. He took Miles right out of that play. That's a big basket. Puts the Rockets off 54 points. Van Exel looking for Stoudamire. Now Stoudamire's hit a couple of back-to-back threes. Back to the middle. Nice pass to Prisbilla. And this time Dikembe Mutombo says, don't bring it in here. A little waggle of the finger. T-Mac to the basket. And he's fouled. He's a different breed of cat in there on Prisbilla now.
Yes, and you'll see it now. Tremendous pass. He'd been dunking that basketball. Mutombo come over and said, hey, no more. Watch it look. When he does that, look out.
Little trademark of Dikembe Mutombo down through the years, over 3,000 blocks in his NBA career. One of the outstanding shot blockers of all time in the NBA.
But what an energy level this guy is playing with. And I'm talking about Mutombo right now, night after night when he gets his minutes. Some guys can't play with few minutes. Looks like to me he plays better with just about 18 minutes, and he just plays great.
14 points now for T-Mac. 57-49. Back handoff to the middle. Great defense by Juwan Howard. He got on his left side. He's left-handed, and that's where you're supposed to play.
But you know what? When Randolph inside, I was a little surprised they didn't come back with Stoudamire offensive.
Juwan's open. Short. Look at Surr. Go get it. Bob Surr now with 11 rebounds. Make it 12. I'm sorry. 12 rebounds for Surr. He leads all of those tall guys in rebounds. Grady one-on-one with Miles. Turns inside. Prisbilla comes over to help. JB for a 3, won't go. And it's kicked over to Darius Miles. Gets it up in a hurry to Stoudamire. He'll fire from the parking lot. And it goes over the back, and it's out of bounds. Well, that ball was right on. It was right in front of us. Just a little long by Stoudamire.
Yeah, I thought it was a good shot. He's been red hot. Things have gone his way. You're trying to bring your team back. I think that was a good shot.
57-49. Got a couple of possessions left. 36 seconds. Grady off to Juwan, gets it right back, and Prisbilla wipes it away. That's another block for Prisbilla. And Exel throws it away. Nope. Jimmy Clark's going to overrule the baseline umpire and say that John Barry touched that ball.
John Barry's like a lot of other players. He says he did not touch it. With 16 seconds to go on the shot clock, if I'm Portland, I'm bringing it back out. They were trying to score. I'd hold for one shot here.
Handoff. Masura with a steal. Good save by the Rockets bench. And 13 seconds left for Portland.
Do you know of anybody's playing any harder than Bobby Sura? Night after night. I'm talking about every night. He never takes a play off.
He's a good hockey player. He's got that hockey mentality for a basketball player. 7 on the shot clock. Stoudamire with an elbow to push Sura off. Passes it out of bounds with 1 second left. How did the shot clock stop at 1 second? It should have gone on off.
Coach Van Gundy's telling our clock operator we're home.
Run that clock. They got 1 second left now as Miles will bring it in. Stoudamire did not get it off in time. So the Rockets will have it with just under 4 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
David Wesley proves at the end of the second quarter there's plenty of time left. 3.8.
We're waiting. What are they going to do with the clock? They're going to give him 4.2 now. That's what it'll be. Giving it up to T-Mac. T-Mac rises up for 3. Got it blocked from behind. Well, Portland used a 15-2 run to cut an 18-point deficit to only 5 with 2 minutes left. The Trailblazers have signaled to the Rockets, we're back, and it's going to be a good fourth quarter coming your way. Let's take a look at tonight's D.R. Horton game summary, Coach. And Blazers have improved that shooting.
We talked about it. You talked about they've improved their shooting from here to here. But the thing is, if the Rockets stay on the offensive board, they got a shot to win the game.
So right now, the Rockets will send out John Barry, Strickland, McGrady, Yao, and Scott Padgett.
Yeah, looks like to me, Rod Strickland's got a heck of a plan. You out there dribbling the basketball, make them think you're going to lose it, fall down to one knee, pick it up, and when they rush to try to get the ball, come out of the double team, throw it to Tracy McGrady.
Oh, you think he's planning that?
Well, it's working, that's all I'm going to say.
This is the 17th year Rod Strickland has been in the NBA. He's being guarded by a kid who's only 19 years old.
You see, that kid wasn't even in kindergarten. I mean, he wasn't even walking when Rod Strickland broke into this league. What a deal.
That's got to be, I guess, Telfair. Strickland says that obviously you're from Brooklyn, New York. You haven't heard about me. I'm a legend on this playground. Miles has it outside to Sebastian Telfair. Going to his left. Cut off by Padgett, but he didn't stay with him. And Telfair puts it up and in. 63-57, a 6-point Houston lead. Strickland right into Yao Ming. Yao spins over Prisbilla. Prisbilla got a piece of it. That's another block for him. He's got about 4 or 5 blocks. And a whistle. Entering tonight's game, Joe Prisbilla had 21 blocks in his last 8 games. He's got 5 blocks tonight.
Listen, his energy level is so much higher. He came out here out of halftime, and this is just a different Trailblazer basketball team. Is how they're doing block shots, rebounding, moving up and down, running the break.
So they're operating now the 6-point Houston lead. 7:55 and counting left to play in the game. Miles backs. Ryan Bowen all the way to the basket and scores, and it's a 4-point Houston lead.
The second Jeff takes out Tracy McGrady just a little bit. What does Miles do? He takes Ryan Bowen and just goes down and puts his longs on and got a great shot.
McGrady has got to be rested. He's averaging 42 minutes a game. Played almost the whole way here. Ryan Bowen on the drive, back to Strickland. Strickland takes it inside. Good catch by Yao, and he slams it home and draws the foul. Oh, what a determined effort by the great wall of Yao.
Yes, and Yao did a good job of catching it, scoring under the power, but Rod Strickland goes down the lane, draws defenders, and kicks it to Yao. Boy, Rod Strickland's making plays. I'll tell you that right now.
Are you his agent? Maybe I haven't checked this person.
Oh, no. I start out with Bobby Sir. He's my guy, and then he goes and he gets a lot of
You're
minutes.
a point guard coach.
No. And Scott Patchett, he's struggling a little bit. And I just go for guys that who struggle and then come in and have to play off of the bench and do a job.
Blocking foul is called on Strickland. That's the second foul on Strickland and the third team foul on the Rockets. 3 team fouls on the Blazers. Rockets have 3 timeouts plus a 20. The Blazers with 2 timeouts and a 20. We're set for the final 7:20 of this game.
You talk about big baskets throughout this game. Yao Ming's last basket was as big as you get. You're clinging to a 4-point lead. You're trying to keep them from their confidence down.
Right, they're going to see if Miles can back in Bowen again. Going inside, he elbowed him off, and that's an offensive foul. Good call by Jim Clark. He put a forearm right in the chest of Ryan Bowen.
And I thought Ryan did a good job of getting position defense. So often people try to make steals or blocks. Ryan did a good job of getting his body between Miles and the basket.
JB out front, gets a pick from Yao, goes all the way inside, arches it up and misses. Sebastian Telfair in the open floor, and he carried the ball. Yeah, he took that ball all the way. His hand was all the way on the bottom of that basketball. Now, that's the way they do in Brooklyn. But in the NBA, he's going to have to change that a little bit.
Yes, but I'll ask you this question. How much longer can you afford to leave Stoudamire on the bench right now with you're down 7? I think it's about time that Portland has to put him back in the game.
Good question. Yao Ming working on Prisbilla. Lost it. Prisbilla with a steal. Telfair getting it back to Anderson. He's a good 3-point shooter. Barry cut him off at the 3-point line. Good defense by John. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Miles wants to back in Bowen again. Anderson with a 3, and he hit it. Derek Anderson with a 3-pointer. And it's a 4-point Houston lead, 66-62 with 6:18 left to play. Houston timeout. 6:18 left to play. Well, if you've seen the standings, you know the Rockets are gearing up for their playoff drive. Guarantee your rights to a playoff seat with the purchase of a 6-game regular season mini plan. Time's running out, but great games are still available, including Shaq's Heat, Dirk's Mavs, and LeBron's Cavs. It's only available by calling a ticket rep at 713-627-DUNK.
That's going to be 3 great games. The Heat, Dallas, LeBron James, he would be worth the price of any of those tickets.
Bob Sura back into the game now. Pageant passes up to 3. Tough pass. He tried to force it into Yao. It just wasn't there. And that is the 12th turnover by Houston.
Yeah, I think Scott's got to shoot the basketball. He's been making certain things you can't do. Stoudamire's back in the game for Portland, Bill.
And it's a 4-point game. Tried to put it up there. Now tips it over to Scotty. I don't know what that was. Looked like an alley-oop pass. It wasn't completed. It's 17 turnovers by Portland. Rockets need a basket. And Yao Ming right behind him. Now puts it on the floor. A little turnaround, and he's fouled on the play. That's a good call. Rattler fouls Yao Ming. And Juwan Howard will check into the game. Yao Ming will be shooting. You know, Rod Strickland just went out a moment ago, Coach. And I wanted to remind everybody, Portland's one of the teams Rod played for in his 17 years. He still has the franchise record with 20 assists in a game, and he set it against Houston back in the 1996 season. So, wasn't that far back.
You look at it, though. He's done a great job in his career. Coach Van Gundy's brought him in to play spot situation. He's done a good job relieving Bobby Sura. But with 5:26 to go, what I like now, the 5 starters are in the game for the Rockets. This is where they usually bring them in and finish it off.
Yao hit only 1 of 2 free throws, 13 of 19. The Rockets only 68% from the free throw line. Anderson misses, and Yao Ming with a rebound. And Yao with his 7th rebound of the game. Tracy McGrady will bring it up. Got him about a minute and a half, 2 minutes of rest. Darius Miles remains on McGrady. Howard out front, looking over to Wesley. They have extended their defense. Rockets. Way out on the perimeter. 5 seconds. Down to 4. Down to 3. Sura to Yao Ming. What a play. Sura creates it with a drive. 2 points for Sura, but he has 8 assists and 12 rebounds. What a line.
Listen, he does a good job of getting deep into the basket and dishing the Yao at the right time.
Crowd wants defense. And Sura with a foul of Anderson. Anderson has a great first step.
You watch it right now. Watch him go to the basket. I didn't think Sura was going over him. Yao did a good job of just stepping up at the right time, giving a passing angle for Bobby Sura.
Well, Ratliff's a shot blocker, and he thought Sura might shoot. 4:23 left to play in the game. Stoudamire's open, and he hits a 3. That's 3 threes for Damon Stoudamire, who after a slow first half has now got 20 points, and it's a 4-point Houston lead. Bounce pass, Howard going in backdoor and is blocked by Ratliff. Miles back the other way like a runaway racehorse. And he slams it home, and it's a 2-point game. It's the closest this game has been since 15-13, way back in the first. How many blocks for Portland tonight? McGrady from the top. Short. Yao tips it to himself. And he's fouled on the play. They're going to call an offensive foul on Yao Ming.
Tough call right there. You get the basketball in traffic, that don't give you any space to turn, and then they call an offensive foul. But what the Rockets have now got to do is deep down. Watch him turn, Bill. He goes up. That might have been a nice little no call. Defensively, watch Stoudamire. He's red hot. Dave Weston, don't help off of him. I don't care what happens the rest of the way. Don't give him another 3 ball.
Only a 2-point game now. An 18-point Houston lead in the third quarter has been whittled down to only 2. Miles takes it in, shoots it over McGrady. Good defense by McGrady, and a loose ball foul is called on Randolph. Zach Randolph, he had a armful of Yao Ming. That's the 4th foul on a very frustrated Zach Randolph, who is 2 for 11. He has 7 points, 6 rebounds. He averages 19 a game. That's also in the penalty now. Yao Ming will get 2 free throws.
Sometimes, Bill, when you are used to averaging almost 20, you have 7. Sometimes frustration sets in. You're wondering where your shots are coming from. But I'm a little surprised Portland didn't go back to run a play for Stoudamire to at least come out and have a look at a 3 ball.
Too hard. The Rockets have missed 7 free throws tonight. 13 of 20 for Houston, 65%. Trailblazers have missed 11 free throws. So the Trailblazers in another tight one. Boy, they played, seems like all of Portland's games are close. And we showed you early in the game, they're very good at games decided by 3 points or less. 3:22 left to play. 3-point Houston lead. Portland puts the ball in play. They go to Darius Miles, over to Stoudamire. Wesley right with him. Stoudamire on the drive. Taking it all the way through. Anderson puts up a 3 and ties the game at 70. That's the second 3-pointer for Derek Anderson. So he has come off the bench in the last 8 minutes for 6 points. We've got a brand new game with 2:50 left to play.
What a coaching move to put him in the game at this particular time where he can score. And I think they've got better scoring right now.
Juwan Howard from the side, the wing, and he can't score, and Darius Miles will give it up to Damon Stoudamire. You never give up in professional basketball. Down by 18 points in the third quarter. The Blazers have hung in, and a chance to take the lead on this possession. To Stoudamire. Got it. And Portland with a lead. Finally. The Trailblazers led by 3 points early in the game, and now lead by 2. Portland has outscored Houston 23-13 in this quarter. 2:20 left to play. Portland Trailblazers lead it by 2. For every fast break point the Rockets score this season, Break Check will donate $20 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston. Tonight the Rockets have 2 fast break points. The total donation so far this season, $8,100. Rockets led by 18 points with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. It was 52-34 Houston. Everybody was thinking about a comfortable victory. Portland hung in, got some stops. Now the Rockets are playing from behind.
Yes, and they're now with a good combination of scorers and defenders in at the same time. Rockets now have got to come down and I think involve Tracy McGrady some way, somehow.
Zura takes it to the top with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Darius Miles. And McGrady does it again. Tracy McGrady with a 4-point play opportunity. He has done it all season long.
Is that unbelievable? As you look at that, off balance, throws it up. Did he call bank?
Coach, he landed behind the three-point line, but I think they're going to say it's a 2-point shot.
Well, I thought it was a 3-point shot all the way.
So it's ruled a 2, and he can't get the 3. Knocked out of bounds, however, by Randolph. Good hustle by Juwan Howard. Tracy really upset with himself now. He's missed 2 free throws in this game.
But Howard does a good job of going in and starting. Watch it now. Rockets will set a double screen for Tracy coming over to the left side, and then he'll get a little pick and roll out of Yao Ming after that.
T-Mac gets the double team. Gives it up to Yao. Yao sets, drives to the basket with a hook shot. Going to be goaltending. Count the basket. Yao Ming with 23 points. And Jeff Van Gundy thought there should have been a foul call on top of the goaltender. But he won't get that. Now let's see what they're talking about here. What are they talking about?
I have no earthly idea. Count the basket and that's it. Now they're arguing count the basket, shoot a free throw, but I don't think that's gone.
Is it a technical? Jeff Van Gundy's arguing hard for it. I think he's going to get it.
That's a very unusual play. Miles grabs the rim, blocks the shot, not the basket.
Darius Miles grabs the rim, Coach. It's going to be a technical foul on Portland. Count the basket, and the Rockets will get a technical foul. Free throw shot from David Wesley.
Good job by the coach there. I think if he hadn't come up and pointed that out, the Rockets would have never got that call.
And a good job by the officials to get together and talk it over. Jim Clark, Sean Corbin, and Tony Brown. All right, the Rockets now lead it by 3. Rockets want the crowd wants defense. 1:45 left to play. Darius Miles. Henderson. Baseline jumper too hard, and Tracy goes and gets it. He tells everybody, get away from me. Let me have it.
He'll run a little high post pick and roll right now with Juwan Howard, maybe Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady. Let him make plays.
McGrady takes it to the basket, and he's fouled on the play. Jack Randolph with a foul, and T-Mac will go to the line for 2. He's so hard to guard in the open court. I just feel sorry for guys. Look at this little hitch and go.
Yeah, what he does, he goes opposite the screen and then penetrates to the basket. And then you don't slap him across the line. Make him make that shot. I think Tracy will make both free throws.
The tough thing about going to the basket on Portland in this game, the Trailblazers have 10 blocked shots. That's a season high for a Rocket opponent. So they have been tough to score on when you go to the basket. Tracy will have one more. He has missed 3 of his last 4 free throws.
Listen, you cannot relax right now with a lead like this. You got to get up and make plays.
Wow, Tracy missed both free throws. 75-72. Blazers a good three-point shooting team. Anderson has hit 2. Stoudamire's hit 2 in this quarter. Rockets crowd again wanting defense. 8 seconds, down to 7 on the shot clock. Down to 6, down to 5. Taking it in over Yao Ming. Trubisky. And a loose ball foul. The shot clock went off. The shot clock went off before the ball went in.
I think he missed it. I think the ball hit the rim. That's my personal opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. Looks like I am.
Well, Mo thinks you're wrong.
I don't think there's any doubt.
Maury's cheap. Here's the shot
the ball hit the rim. Didn't see. Oh, too late then.
52 seconds left to play in the game. Both teams are in the penalty. McGrady. Juwan Howard, top of the key to Sura. 10 seconds left. Sura turns the corner. Sura lays it up and in. That ball hung on the rim, took a peek, and went down through. And Portland calls a timeout. So after Portland took a 2-point lead, the Rockets have gone on a 7-0 run. Boy, that Sura comes up big every game.
Listen, you watch it now. Watch him penetrate to the basket. I thought he got fouled on that. They were reaching out and trying to hold him. They couldn't.
Only the second basket of the game for Bob Sura to go along with 8 assists and 12 rebounds, Coach.
Yes, but he gets the big rebounds, the big shots. He does it all. He's the team. Next time if they switch off on him, he'll be hitting them.
He wanted to pass the ball to Yao Ming, but Ratliff had Yao's right arm pinned behind him.
He couldn't pass it to him. He couldn't get his hands up to catch the basketball. When I think about a team that's value to it, a player that's value to a team, I think about Bobby Sura at this particular time. But because he's got a lot of timeouts left, you've got to you can advance the ball. The Rockets cannot relax.
Let's remind everybody, Coach, these two games are off. Two teams are very good. Look at best record in games decided by 3 points or less. Portland leads the league 5-1. The Rockets are 7-3. So these are two teams that know how to get to the finish line.
Yes, and right now Portland has good 3-point shooters in the game. They can insert them, then foul, and then have another time. On the last timeout, Bill, Coach Teague was awfully upset with the officiating down on this end when we talked about the violation. He thought there was a foul. He's still upset. He's close to getting a technical right now.
Well, they're going to let him have a little room because it was such a close play. And now Portland will have the basketball. 37 seconds left. What are they going to do?
I think right now you have no choice. You've either got to get a quick 2 or run a play for a 3. You got to be able to take at this point in time. Watch Anderson coming off with some double screens after throwing the ball inbound and get a 3-point shot.
Both teams are in the penalty. The Blazers have a 20-second timeout remaining, and that's it. Rockets have a full plus of 20. Foul on Juwan Howard, and that is not a timely foul because that's going to send the best free throw shooter in basketball to the free throw line.
That's the one thing that you did not want to do is take the foul. Now you have a shot to be down. He can make both of them. You'll be down 3, and then you can play defense without having to take a foul. What you're always trying to do is get to positions if you're behind where you do not have to foul to catch up.
It's Anderson at the free throw line, not Stoudamire, but he's a terrific free throw shooter too, so that's really doesn't make much difference. Now Prisbilla will come in for defense. He already has 5 blocked shots as Zach Randolph will go off the court.
What this does, taking that foul with more than 24 seconds on the game clock, makes the Rockets have to make an offensive possession.
Yep. So the Rockets now will take a 20-second timeout. The Rockets will have 1 full timeout remaining. The Blazers have a 20-second timeout remaining, and both teams are in the penalty. 34 seconds left. Rockets up by 3. So what is Jeff Van Gundy mapping out a play here?
First of all, you got to get the ball inbound. You got about 10 seconds difference in the game clock, shot clock. Then you go and get it inbounds, and then at the end, to keep more, what you don't want is more people handling the basketball there because it's a chance for turnovers. Get it as quick as you can in Tracy McGrady's hand. Then at the end, run Juwan Howard out on a high post pick and roll and allow him to shoot the 15-footer if they double Tracy. If not, try to get, I would want Tracy to not to pass the ball to Juwan Howard, go to the hole and try to draw a foul at this time.
Okay, and a basket here by Houston would just about seal it.
Yes, because then Portland would be down to 1 timeout. You don't get to advance the basketball, and that's tough. I think Houston will run a little play right now just to get the ball inbounds.
Anderson will come out on Sura. Yao Ming is out high because, as a last resort, you can lob it to Yao at 7-6. And here we go now. Cheeks will put in Ruben Patterson and take Stoudamire out. So he took his two offensive players out for defense. 34 seconds left.
Yeah, but you still don't have to have somebody that can guard Tracy McGrady at the end.
And there's Darius Miles on McGrady. Here we go. Rockets with a 3-point lead. 13 on the shot clock. Over to Sura. Sura going down the baseline. Nothing there. Out to Juwan Howard. Right back to McGrady. Nice little fake. McGrady inside to Juwan Howard. He waits his turn, puts it up, draws the foul with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. That last little head fake by Juwan Howard did the job.
Yes, but give Tracy McGrady. Now, I've talked about it all season long. He had a decent shot going left. I see so many superstars in the NBA would have shot the basketball. He gave it up to Juwan Howard for a better shot than the one he had.
Juwan, an 83% free throw shooter. The Rockets have had their worst free throw shooting night in a long time. They've missed 10.
And if I had a Rocket at the line outside of David Wesley, I'd want it to be Juwan Howard at this time.
You're right. 61% shooting from the line for Houston, 52% shooting. And tonight, Landry's signature group player of the game is Juwan Howard. Another double-double, his 5th of the season tonight. If he gets that, it's 15 points, 11 rebounds for Juwan. He will receive a $50 gift card from the Landry signature group of restaurants. And those might have been the 2 big free throws to do it. The 22nd timeout by Portland coach, and that's all they've got left.
What you got to do now is to make them use time. Get the ball in bounds, whatever you do. Do not foul. Make them run some time off the clock. Switch all ball screens so they cannot shoot the 3 ball. They'll make some substitutions at this time. You've got to next come out and make sure you match up with the right players defensively.
We got 12.5 seconds left against the hard-nosed defense on the court.
The Rockets now trying to hang on and win one. They had an 18-point lead in the third quarter. And actually, Portland took a 2-point lead, but the Rockets have come storming back since then. 79-74 Houston. Blazers are out of timeouts. Rockets still have a timeout remaining, both teams in the penalty. Randolph will come back into the game along with Stoudamire. Big lineup. Chris Billa will stay in. Will go out.
They're bringing in nothing but shooters right now and scorers, somebody. But I still think they have to make 2-3 balls to have any shot to win, so they've got to go after them right now.
12.5 seconds left. Stoudamire in. Stoudamire has hit 5 3-pointers tonight. That's 1,022 threes in his career. And it's a 2-point Houston lead. They got to get the ball in. They get it into Howard, and he's fouled immediately by Randolph.
And, you know, I just now think Randolph should have been in front of Howard. Can't let the ball get in bounds. But Howard just made 2 free throws. He's hot right now. You want to come back. That's the guy you want on the line. You think about it right now. Watch this little play. What a shot by Stoudamire. He faked like he was going behind the screen. He didn't take it. Came up and made the shot. But still, right now, there's plenty of time left if you're Portland. Juwan needs to make both of these.
Coach, I wonder why players guard from the right side. He's left-handed. That doesn't bother him at all. When you run at him from the right side, it really doesn't affect that shot. And now we've got 2 more huge free throws for Juwan Howard here. There's still plenty of time left, 9.3, but Portland does not have any more timeouts.
Yes, for them, I think to have a shot to even tie the game and to go into overtime, he has to miss at least 1. If he makes both of them, I think it's good shape for the Rockets. And I like the fact that he went to the ball and got fouled. He's in a rhythm right now. He's able to make those free throws and all of that. I think that you've got to get the ball inbounds to the right person.
That Stoudamire runs down in front of Juwan Howard to try to break his rhythm a little bit. Van Exel's in the game with Stoudamire and Anderson and Darius Miles. So you got 9.3 left. He makes this one. It's a 4-point Houston lead. Portland out of timeouts. There it is. They cannot advance the ball. They must bring it in full court. Rockets need to press, and that's what they're doing. Anderson pressed by McGrady over Darius Miles. Miles will pull up for a three, and he hits it. My goodness gracious, Portland hits another three. The Rockets have to get it in with 3 seconds left, and Jeff Van Gundy will call his final timeout. This Portland Trailblazers team, they may be losing this season at 20 and 28, but they got no quit in them, do they, Coach?
You see that now. Miles goes down, just grabs him, and gets it from Anderson. Coach did not want him to leave. I think you cannot go over and double a ball. You got to stay on your man. Miles is the three ball. The Rockets are not out of the woods yet, because 3.1 seconds for an NBA player is a long time, because the foul right now is not going to take very long. If I'm Portland, I'm going to get up out of bounds on the ball and really deny the foul just a minute.
You know, Portland is 8 for 12 from behind the three-point line for 67%, but only 12 of 23 from the free throw line for 52%. The Rockets are 0 for 11 behind the three-point line, and that's the first time that has happened in a long time.
But the Rockets have been really good at just in this streak, just finding a way to win.
All right, now what do you do if you're Jeff Van Gundy? You got to get it into your best free throw shooter?
I'm going to try right now to get the basketball into Juwan Howard as quick as I can. And because I've got to have somebody that's in a good rhythm right now. I'm not saying that Tracy McGrady normally would be a good shooter, but more than likely, it doesn't make any difference. You can't be choosy about who you got to get it into. You got to get it into somebody.
Here we go. First of all, both teams are out of timeouts. Both teams are in the penalty. So being out of timeouts, you must get the ball in. John Barry has checked into the lineup.
Yeah, here's why he's into the game. Terrific, just terrific ball handler, free throw shooter. You put those types of players into the game, but it doesn't make any difference. Somebody is going to take fouls. You don't have to worry about matching up size. You put Van Exel outside. Anderson's going to try to get up and deny the ball, but it doesn't make any difference. You take a foul.
And they're going to Victor Karapa, youngster first-year man out of Russia. Karapa is in the game. All right, he's got to get it in. And they go all the way cross court to Wesley, and he tries to avoid Patterson. He's pushed with 2.1 left. Now, let me ask you a question here. If you make the first, do you miss the second? Because they're 2.1 left and they're out of timeouts. They can't advance.
Well, I did that one year to win a game at Austin, Texas in the regionals. I had Auburn in the same identical situation. I made the first one, and I was going to tell a little girl to miss the second one, and my sister said, don't dare do that. The girl's named Vicky. Said Vicky had never made 2 free throws in her life, so we didn't tell her, and she missed it anyhow. Yes, I think that would be a good move at this particular time. We went on to, we finished one game from going to the Final Four. If David makes this one, I'd want him to miss the second one, because then, here's what happened.
Missed the first, and Wesley is an 80% free throw shooter. Now you got a bit of a dilemma here.
You got to make this one. I don't know.
No,
they're the same difference. I think you had to miss it, because now if you make it, he's going to go the length of the court. See what you want to do. See, you don't want him to advance the ball from out of bounds. If he makes it, you can throw the ball to the center line,
that's right,
and it won't be any time. Now they missed it.
And Stoudamire got it off in time. Oh, it almost went in. That ball almost banked in, and I think it would have counted.
I don't think there's any doubt it would have counted.
My goodness gracious, what a finish. Watch it again. Stoudamire gets it off before the buzzer goes off, and it almost banks in for a game-winning three. Wow, the Houston Rockets have now won 7 straight, its longest winning streak since winning 9 straight back in 1999. Once again, the final score, the Rockets 81 and Portland 80. Tune in for our next telecast Tuesday when the Rockets host the Washington Wizards. Coverage begins at 7 on FSN Southwest. Stay tuned. The Busch Light Southwest Sports Report is next.